I'm standing outside of the old Maddox Center where you used to take care of me at the daycare.
Stay there. I'm coming.
You coming over here? How far are you? How far are you?
I'm about 5 minutes away.
All right, we're going to wait on you. So when I would leave my house and walk to work, this was a pathway that was built, and this used to just be nothing but land. But this building is very iconic for me because not only is it the place where we got our groceries, because mom would send me to the grocery store, but it was my second job ever working. First job was working at the Kroger, but this used to be an old grocery store called Bilo. And many times I remember as a kid sitting here in the parking lot waiting for mom to come out to do groceries. But this area of town was very significant during my high school years prior to going to Clarke University. So now, being back at this location is very sentimental to me. This is my sort of, I would say, childhood home, a house that my mother owned, because growing up in Athens, we didn't have the ability to own a home. So in 1992, we moved here, and this is where I spent my high school years. And when I look around this house, I mean, we put a lot of money into it. My mom still owns it to renovate it. But this yard is where I would cut grass. So this is a huge corner lot. And for those of us that know the significance of a corner lot house, it was pretty great to have this, because it was really honestly where I would think a lot as a young teenager, but also my mom would put me to work and have these pine trees, so all these pine cones and pine straw would drop down. But this is where we eventually came to after living in other parts of Athens, and just really thank the family who's living here. They've done a good job of keeping the house together, and the neighborhood has really thrived. A lot of different families over here, but it's really good that my mom is able to still have this house and to still own it, and definitely really appreciate what this neighborhood did for me. All right, so after we moved back from Atlanta and stayed on Price Avenue near Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, Unit 205 is where we grew up. We're in Rock Springs, which is a housing authority facility, apartments in Athens. But this is the legendary Rock Springs, right across the street from Clarke Central High School. So basically over there, we walk across the park, go see my aunt. And this come a long way. A lot of folks who live in this housing authority facilities, these apartments, they've been here for decades. But I remember we used to hang our clothes on these clotheslines and wash them inside and then let them dry. But this definitely brings back a lot of memories. And right here was a daycare center, kind of after school facility that I would go to with my cousins to wait on my mom to get off work. And then when she would get off work, she would come pick us up and we would go to the apartment. All right, I'm back at the home of the Gladiators, Clarke Central High School. Was here from 1992 to 1996, and this campus has done a lot for me and so many other my friends, but they've done a lot of improvements here. It looks beautiful, but this is the best high school in Athens, big crosstown rivalry, but definitely enjoyed my time here, and this is definitely where I shaped a lot of my skills and character, but also played football and also ran track. So great sports program here, still very active with them as a booster, but really proud of this great high school. South Millage is one of our main streets in Athens, and I used to run and ride my bike to school, to my high school, Clarke Central. And I don't know how long this is, but it's a pretty long stretch. But for those people who have either from Athens or went to school here, South Millage is a very prominent street because it's where all the fraternity and sorority houses are for the University of Georgia, and a lot of businesses and homes are on this street, and our historic 5 Points is up ahead, where a lot of folks gather, and it's a pretty often mentioned landmark to tell people how to go places when they're in Athens. Doing all right? I'm so glad I called you, because if you were this close and I didn't see you, I would be so
I
mad.
know. I was over there at church. We're having women's thing this morning. How y'all doing?
Good. So listen,
Yes.
so tell us about this place. What's up, man? How y'all doing now? No, come on. We're gonna edit this. So what I'm doing today is a quick sort of revisit of my upbringing in Athens, and I want you to help me explain what this place, which was called the Maddox Center, right?
Right.
And it's where my mama would drop me off, I think at the age of 1, and I'll go before I was 1, and I would cry the entire time, and you and many others would take care of us. But just tell us a little bit about this building and how that experience was for you, and how I was as like a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, because I think I stayed here until I went to kindergarten. Yeah, till I was 4. Okay.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Pearl Hall, and I am so happy to be standing here with Tharon Johnson, and we're in the front of the Maddox Daycare Center, and I have to give credit to Miss Evelyn Corrine Neely, who was the chief director of the daycare center. She had us here, and she had about 80 kids in here, and we was under the leadership of her and the late Donna Ray Green, Lil Max Stroud, and we had great kitchen help, Miss Honor, who lived up the street, cooked, and Mrs. Stanton, who cooked full course meal, breakfast, dinner, and supper if they were late. And the kid was coming in like a regular school daycare. We followed the same procedures as though they were in school. And this little room right here, that first little area right there was for the 5-year-old. This little area right here was where those that less than 5. The kitchen, if I can walk around this way, I can show you where the kitchen was. The kitchen was over here in this area where Mrs. Stanton and Mrs. Honor cooked right there. And right here was another area. And this right here was the playground.
I remember
all
this playground.
The playground stuff is gone.
I got stung by a bee out here.
And this right here was a little horse.
Yeah, I used to jock on this horse. Yeah.
Right up here, there was a horse area. And the kid loved this horse. And all back up through the back, they played in all of this area. And we thank Miss Here next door, who let us use her yard if we needed to. And there's the Maddox Center right over there. I mean, that's great about the church, who owned this property at that time. And thinking about Tharon as a little boy in this school, he did come to school each morning crying. Every morning, he did not want to. You didn't really, not every morning.
Okay.
You did not want to leave Miss Martha, his mother. And Miss Martha, such a special mother that supported us in every effort, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like this time, she will be here helping us out in any occasion. And I see, I'm just jumping around, I see one of the slides over there.
Oh my God.
That was one of the slides, still standing there.
So who owns this place still now?
It's still owned by Greater Bethel Church.
So we need to reopen this.
And that's what we've been trying to do. I've been talking to them all the time about what can we do to get it done. And they were saying that they was going to tear it down. So I don't know, but I've been asking all the time. But I'm trying to get a reunion.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I've talked to so many kids about having a reunion here.
Well, good. Well, listen to me. I'm going to say this on the camera. Whatever I can do to help you, you have been my sort of check-in barometer about what's going on in Athens. I follow you on social media. You and I text. And you let me know what we can do to keep this place preserved. I'm sure that there's some families in need out there that needs a place where we can go get some pre-K care, and even if it's just a place to have where kids can facilitate conversations and play, you just let me know what we can do here. But I appreciate you.
Okay, I would
love
talk
you
to
so
Reverend
much.
Bland, who is the pastor of Greater Bethel,
Okay.
and let him know what we can do. But this here was a wonderful, wonderful young man. We loved him. He stayed with us till he was about 4.5, and he was just as smart as he is now. He would love with one song that he used to love to sing. There was a boy, Georgia boy, named Martin Luther King.
Oh my God.
He marched on up to Washington and said, I have a dream. Martin Luther King, and that was one of his favorite songs. So I try to sing that every holiday on Martin Luther King because it reminds me of Tharon.
Cleveland Avenue, Athens Avenue, Atlanta Avenue, but I used to live on Macon Avenue. And I used to walk these railroad tracks here with my cousins. We would get on the railroad track here and walk it all the way to the university and to our recreation centers. Right up here on the left is where my mom goes to church. Her pastor is Deborah Lucas. So my mom drives over here and goes to church, Faith Temple Outreach. And right here is very symbolic to me. So this is where, because we couldn't afford a wash and dryer, this used to be our wash house. So it used to be a lady named Miss Janie who used to run this wash house right here. Now it's a home, but that's where I used to walk. And I'll show you how far I used to have to walk to just wash and dry my clothes. So now you're entering Newtown. My bus stop would be right up here on this corner. And many days I would run from this bus stop to my house because I would be talking a little smack on the bus and the big boys would try to jump on me. So I would be a mass sprint from Atlanta to Augusta Avenue to here. But this street here in Newtown is a very, very symbolic street. So we're gonna go around this corner. So here on the right was the Candy Lady. It's called the Gilreys. So now they've put a trailer there and they remodeled it, but this is where we would all go and get the candy. And then up here is where, as a little boy, this is my grandmother's house, and my aunt Patsy still lives there. Clearly you can see we need to make some improvements, but I don't mind showing it because my grandmother owned that house, and we gotta work with my aunt to try to make some improvements and make a better condition for her to live. But up here on this hill is where I lived. So as you can see, you got houses, but then you got the housing projects. So we had houses around us, but I lived in the projects. And right here on this tree is where we would play basketball on the dirt. So we nail up a little rim there and we play basketball in that backyard back there. You can see it, pull up a little bit more, is where I used to play football all the time. And it used to be a bunch of kudzu back there, but now they fenced it off because a lot of that land back there belongs to the city. But here, 250B, Macon Avenue, in this corner, is where I grew up. Before that was Avalon, before that was Lexus, Toyota made these cars called Cressicas. And I remember when my brother bought his Cressica, it was white, all white, leather interior. We used to park it here, but 250B Macon Avenue is where I was made. This spot right here in Newtown is where I grew up. So many memories here, from just having one heater in the house that used to have to warm the whole house. You know, I remember my mom would open the oven door. I remember we had wall units and air conditioner. We didn't have any sort of, HVAC units, HC. And in that backyard, which is fenced off now, but which is where I would play football all the time. And my grandmother lived down the street there. But 250B Macon Avenue in Newtown is where I have some of my fondest memory of growing up here with my brother and my mom. So, and knew the people who live in this house, and we live right across from the waterworks that supplied the water for Athens, Clarke County. And then real quick, as we move on, this house right here belonged to the Johnsons and the Sheets family. And for those of us who grew up in Athens, the Sheets and the Johnsons, particularly the Sheets, owns a bunch of barbershops. But Antoine and Dewey Jr., all of them, we're still friends to this day. And I would come across the yard and play with them a lot. So yeah, this is Newtown, 250B. Glad to see it still standing, and a lot of us made it through here in these projects, but happy to come back. We're gonna talk. We ain't gonna make this all formal. So, so anyway, just launched Tharon's Take podcast, Mom, and wanted to come back to Athens and to show folks where I grew up and how you play such a amazing, pivotal role in the life of me and my brother and my sister. So let me tell you where we went today. So we came in Athens. We went to Rock Springs. Went by 205. Mm-hmm. I showed them where Plunk used to be and Celinda, and then we rode through there. We didn't stay over there very long because, Rock Springs, was kind of rough. Then we left there, went over to Clarke Central High School, showed them football. Then we rode by Broadacres, where Granddaddy used to live, and we didn't get a chance to go to all the places. And then we left there, we went to the Maddox Center.
Maddox Center.
And guess who we ran into? Miss Pearl came over there.
And you glad to see that one of your teachers.
Yep. So
ain't that something?
So I was telling on the video, the Maddox Center back then. Pearl said you started taking me when I was 1.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty close. About 18 months.
Yeah,
really.
So I was 1.5. Okay, and then she said I stayed there till I was about 4.
Yeah, then you went to East Athens.
Now we didn't make it over to East Athens. We didn't have enough time today. All right, so basically, the Maddox Center was a place where most of the black kids, parents like yourself working 2 or 3 jobs, would take their kids, right?
Yeah.
Now, one thing that me and Pearl kind of debated, you're going to set the record straight. Did I cry every day you dropped me off? Or did I cry most days?
You cried about a week, and then we had a lady we called Mama. She lived over there, but she dead now. She told me what to do. Just drive up, and she'll come out there and get you and take you in the building. Yeah, you cried about a week.
So you right. So when Miss Pearl said I cried for like a long time, it was only for a week.
No, Mama, she took care of you.
So the Maddox Center was just really the only place in Athens where y'all could really, know that they would accept the kids. And she said it went up to about 4 years old, maybe 5-year-old children.
No, when you had you left from over there and went to East African because you had yeah, she's right. I think you graduated over there from East African when you were 5 or 6. You and Mo.
That's right, me and Mo. That's my cousin Mo.
Yeah.
Then
Mo.
I went to Whitehead.
Yeah.
And then
you left from there and went to Clarke Middle, and then you went to Clarke Central.
That's right. And I went to Vernon Harris and Clarke Central. All right. So we left there, and then we went by Newtown, and we saw Grandmama's house, 170, and then I stood outside 250B, Macon Avenue, and then I told the story a little bit about how we were able to buy the first home at Davis Estates, which looks really good. We went over there. I met the couple. They said hello, by the way.
They finally met you.
Yeah, they finally met me. So they thought I was Richard, but they told me I was better looking than Richard.
That's all right.
Yeah. But that was it. So anything you want to say about Athens and being able to be here now and know that your son is opening up his life to the world and starting this podcast?
Yeah, well, we're proud of you. You know that. Both of y'all. Not only one. Got 2 boys. I'm gonna say this. I'm real proud I was able to raise you all as a single mom, and I'm real proud of y'all did very well in your career, both of y'all. The thing it is that thank God that I'm still here at 81. Is to live to see this and see my grandkids, grow up. I wish I could have moved around a little bit more, but I can't complain about that because God been good to me. I went through a lot, through my illness, and I'm still here. So I'm blessed, and I just thank God that I'm living to see my boys grow up and show mama what they can do and how proud they is of their mother. I want single mama to know that if you do the right thing and help your kids and do all you can, that they'll give you revenge back. And thank God that you have them to support you. I really say, I never would have thought I would have end up being this old, and live to see this. I think it's a blessing to see your kids grow up and then they can give you something back and really support you when you get to the point where you really can't do it for yourself. And I just say that. Thank God for both of the boys supporting me and wishing best.
All right. I love you, Sugar. Thank you. So now we've been able to go through all of these sort of tough times, and now been able to put my mom in a very nice house in a good part of Athens. And so really hope you guys enjoyed this sort of brief tour of how I grew up and what really went on in my childhood and how I became the guy I am today. So thank you all for tuning in.